Good evening, truckers. Johnny Garza here, calling or creating this video from Sandusky, Ohio. Thank you again for tuning in to my channel and listen to what I have to say. The title of tonight's video is called "Be the Superhero in Your Own Movie." You know, I've long suspected that Hollywood is in cahoots with some really smart people in the upper echelons of power, in the sense that what I think Hollywood does, it gives us the community and the society as a whole movies that make us feel good, like doing something heroic. You know, we watch the movie, we walk out of the movie thinking, gosh, isn't that great? That the good guy did something good and just and right. And I think that in a way, and I can't prove this, but I got this suspicion that, number one, the oligarchs, the neoliberals, the people that are in power know a lot about human nature. They've studied it. They've got the best minds on understanding human nature. And they understand, like Edward Bernays understood in the early part of the last century, that to get the people and to sort of gear and steer their behavior, you have to get to their emotions. Rationality doesn't do it. For whatever reason, if I talk to you about the nuts and bolts about economics and the rationale behind it, or the smartness about it, the rationality about it, then a lot of people won't get it. It's through emotions that you move into action. So this is a well-known fact in psychology and other areas of study, that it is through emotional connections that people move. So this video is really about making your own movie, being your own superhero in the movie, and the movie is called "Doing for the Working Class in America." In order to do that, you have to understand economics, and you have to understand the difference between what is called monetarism and chartalism, or you could also call it fiscal. What do you call that? Monetarism and fiscal responsibility, or what the federal government can do. Okay? So once you understand that, then you have a really good foundation in understanding money and how the economy works, and then start working towards goals and policies to try to make that change. Now, the powers that be are not going to let go of their power very easily. Monetarists will not do it. They love their power, they love their money, and they love their status in society, and they want to keep it that way. We have to force the issue, but we can't do it when we have a lot of people that don't understand the power they have in their currency. So my videos have all been about modern money theory and Keynesian economics, right? The golden years of economics, from the late mid-40s to the up until the first part of the 1970s. We're really proud of that era, because it was in that era that the middle class truly prospered. Now, a lot of people would say, well, that's because the war just ended and the guys are coming back from the war, and we had to rebuild America, and there's a lot of things to do, therefore. And that's partly true. But it's also true that the federal government in the 1930s used the fiscal policy to make these changes, like the New Deal, and the Jobs Guarantee Program. So what we understand through studying modern money theory is that the powers that be, business, got together through the Powell Memorandum that said that, hey, listen, Ralph Nader is getting way too powerful here. He's raising the middle class standards, and he's requiring corporations to go through hoops and loops to get things done. So we need to stop this. Business is not making as much money as we'd like. So they did it, and they did it with a vengeance, right? So now we have a neoliberal area that we've been living now for over 30 years, where the middle class hasn't gotten any kind of decent raise, right? So this is about you being a superhero in your home, and you advocating for what is called modern money theory, or the smartness, of understanding how the economy works, right? So how do you do that? How can I convince you to take a stand and be active in this effort to improve your life? I mean, how do you do that? A lot of people I talk to will say, "Yeah, right, sure, I got you. The economic trucker. I'll watch it when I get a chance." And a lot of people won't watch the video. A lot of people, if they do watch the video, they think to themselves, "Well, I'm too busy. I can't think of that right now." Now I'm about to say some tough words here. I don't know. You might not like it, but it's just my perception. This is what I believe. This is what I think. Either you stand for something or you don't. By not acting, you're actually truly acting. Because those that have power over your life and control your standard of living are acting on their behalf. So to say, politics, that's not for me. No, politics is very much for you, right? Because they will act in your behalf. Right? So here's the problem, though. Most people don't understand the power they have in their money. They don't. If you ask a person, "Hey, what's that in your back wallet? Have you ever thought about where it comes from? How it's created, how it gets in the economy, and how it affects your standard of living, and whether or not you're able to pay for your children's health care needs, whether you're able to educate your children, whether you're able to buy that car that you want?" Again, this is about capitalism. It's not about socialism. Modern money theory is about capitalism. Okay, so how do you start to advocate if you don't understand? So you have to have understanding first. You have to study modern money theory. Study the difference between monetarism and fiscal responsibility. What the federal government can do, the fiscal space that they have, modern money theory, right? See the difference and look at history, and it doesn't really take long. A couple of videos and a couple of key people, will clearly show you, well, gosh, this is what happened, So you could actually live under a rock today and understand that your standard of living has been falling for over 30 years. That you're not leaving your country a better place for your children. And it is to a point now that now we're fighting for our actual sovereignty, because that's what the neoliberals are truly after. In the end, what they're really after is to make America no longer, just to have an area to where they can exploit and make money off of. Exploit your children, exploit anything existing to make money off of, because neoliberalism is about their right to profit. Damn the torpedoes. Their right to profit. So here are the tough words. When you kiss your babies at night and you say, "I love you, I want the best for you," do you really mean that? Truly, do you mean that? Because if you don't understand what's happening in this world today, in the economy, and our future, and if you don't understand, if you're not fighting for modern money theory or Keynesianism, then you are for the neoliberals, and the neoliberals want to enslave your babies. It's that simple, guys. That's what it is. They're about killing people. They don't give a damn about whether or not you have sick people and can't afford health care. They want to kill people in order to get profits. So a neoliberal is a murderer by proxy. Steve Grumbine would say that a lot, The thing about Steve is that he has what I call righteous indignation. And if you're not mad about this, then there's something wrong with you. I'm sorry, there's something wrong with you, I'm mad. I'm pissed off. I got to fight back. I'm not going to take it laying down. When I kiss my babies at night, I mean it. I want the best for them. And I have understanding. Now, once you know the truth, you cannot unlearn it. You can't unlearn it. Once you know the truth, you know the truth, right? And you have to fight for it. So stand up and fight. But Hollywood has replaced that in a movie. You go to a movie on the weekend and you're good for a week. Oh man, I feel good. Emotionally, there's justice in the world. Even though it's in the big screen, on a Saturday night, you walk away and you say, there's justice in the world, in the movies. But there's no justice. There's no justice, no economic justice, there is none, So be your own hero in your own movie. Listen, guys, it doesn't have to be me. God knows that I'm not the best speaker. I'm not as eloquent as I'd like to be, that I don't have all the answers. I could, God knows that, right? I'm not, but, and I'd be more than glad to step aside and have somebody take these videos and run with it and talk about this and advocate modern money theory, Keynesian economics. Go for it. But you know what? I don't see it. Who's out there doing this? I can name a couple of people in my left hand. Now, granted, modern money theory is spreading. People are talking about it. You got, like Dr. Stephanie Kelton said, they've got the Huffington Post writing about it. But the common everyday person, the hardworking person, if you ask them, does federal taxes spend, or do federal taxes pay for federal spending? They say, well, of course it does. And that could be nothing further than the truth. That's the opposite of the truth. 99% of the people don't understand money and where it comes from. Our job as advocates for truth and economic justice is to educate those people so that they can stand and have a good foundation to fight for those things that are right and just and moral. You know? Modern money theory isn't Republican, it isn't Democrat, it's not Libertarian, it's not Independent. Modern money theory is just a description of how a sovereign country issuing its own currency spends and taxes its money, right? So the neoliberals right now, the conservative neocons right now are using modern money theory, the truth about how federal finance works, to their advantage. What do? They spend money out the wazoo building war planes to go make war around the world and piss everybody off. They understand federal finance real well, but they don't want you to understand it, because what you will do with your money is go and get Medicare for all. You'll educate your children. You'll get a jobs guarantee program that'll raise your standard of living practically overnight. You see, they get it. They understand modern money theory. They understand the truth about modern money theory, or your money. You don't. You don't. So you have to start. You have to start understanding. You have to start spreading the word. Again, it doesn't have to be me. God, now I'd love somebody to have the passion that I have, to go out and talk, that'll speak better, that more, combs their hair nicer, looks better. That's fine. I don't care. Go, take it, man. I don't care. But believe in it and have passion and advocate it and work hard for it, because we need people like that. Yeah, and I don't have to do it myself. I'm just doing it because nobody else is, and I can't sleep at night unless I am. I'm like Steve Grumbine. My conscience will not let me. I have to fight. Sometimes I put it like this: what are you, a man or are you a mouse? Are you gonna sit there and throw your arms up in the air and say, "Oh, they're too powerful. I'm sorry, I can't do it. Oh God, woe is me." The oligarchs, they're gonna kill us all. No, I'm not gonna stand for that. I can't do that. I fight. So where are you, men? Joan of Arcs of the world, where are you? Where are we, a bunch of nations of wimps? Or are we going to fight? And if you're a neoliberal, I got something for a neoliberal. If you're truly a neoliberal, do you really mean it when you kiss your babies and you tell them you love them? Because let me tell you something. If you're a neoliberal, the new liberal, right? And if you believe in this sort of economic understanding, right, then your kids damn well better be at the top of that rich chain, because if they're not, guess what? The neoliberal that is right above them are going to try to enslave them, because it's all about individualism. It's all about what I can get, what my profit is, right? So, hey, it's supposedly we're a free country, but boy, you better make darn sure that they're freaking, going to the best colleges, getting the best money, and getting that profit that you believe they richly deserve. Because if they're not, guess what? They're like you and me. All right? I disagree. We're a country of the many, not the one. Okay? We're a country that cares for other people. Money isn't the all of everything. Profit isn't everything. You have your neighbor you care for, and that's what this is about. Some people would say, well, I don't... it's a worship of money. Money is the root of all evil. Well, you know what? Right now, you're right. Yeah, money is being used for evil. But you know what? A proper understanding of money can be used for good. We've seen that. We've seen that before in history, just recently. The golden years of Keynesianism. So, thanks for listening. If I hurt your feelings, I'm sorry. This is the truth. This is how I feel, and I'm looking for people to help me. I can't do it on my own. I will, though. By God, till the day of my last breath, I'll do it. So you can email me at truckersecon101@gmail.com. Visit my YouTube channel, like you did here. Pass it around. And, of course, I've got right here on the top, right there, the basics of modern money, where you can start on understanding federal finance and the power you have with your money. Thanks a lot for listening. We'll talk again soon.